Starting this channel about a year ago, 18 months ago, somewhere around there. Never thought it would turn into a passion. I do like what I'm doing. It is kind of rewarding, but there were a lot of pitfalls along the way, things that I probably could have done better. And I want to pass on some of those tips that could help you get to your goal a lot faster than what it took me. A lot of people are going to move along a lot faster, but depending on the content that they put out versus how I did it. This might help you. My name is Antoine Anderson. This is Black Investments Matter, the Ujama Network, and we're going to talk about that little pronunciation change in the video as well. Stay tuned. First thing that you need to know about monetization, being able to earn revenue from your channel, is the criteria. Of course, you've got your short views. That's, your 3 million short views. Anything under a minute can qualify as a short video. Anything you upload. Those are the quickest ways to get a lot of views. That will help you out tremendously. It's much faster to do that than what I did, which was, rack up 300 watched hours in a year. As I found out, that if you don't hit that mark in the first few months or the first year, it begins the clock over again. As soon as your days hit 365, it's 365 days from your last upload. And that's the thing, in that time frame, whatever you put out there within those 365 days has to equal 3,000. I'm currently at 2,948, I believe, watched hours, which means the clock will adjust, or that count will adjust according to the next day. What if I did more one particular day last year than I did this year, same time? It fluctuates. So keep that in mind. And another note on that is that if you're using things like vidIQ or TubeBuddy, their count is going to show that you might have considerably more, if you're in my situation, watched hours than what YouTube is recording. The difference is those two monitor lifetime watched hours versus the threshold, which is 365 days. How many 3,000? Well, how many years or hours you've watched within that year? It's got to equal 3,000. It has to equal 3,000 watched hours in that year. And of course, your 500 subscriptions, but keep that in mind. So don't get too alarmed if the numbers don't look right. TubeBuddy says one thing, vidIQ says another, but your actual count is for that year for monetization, and that's the first hurdle to get over. Now let's talk about some of these tricks and tips and some insight that I've gained over this year and a half. First tip, you need to develop a thick skin if you're getting into a particular line of or niche in this YouTube channel monetization goal of yours. Your primary goal, if you want to monetize this channel like I do, is to get and attract subscribers. Now, with that comes a bunch of nonsense. And if you don't have a thick skin, when people begin to comment on what you're doing or what you're promoting, what you're pushing, don't let that discourage you. Don't allow some of the more vocal subscribers say to you, because typically what I find, you'll probably get more likes from people who like your videos than you would the subscribers. The subscribers, people genuinely will subscribe to your channel just to throw shade. It's a simple fact. That is one of the things I kind of learned the hard way, is that there is so much turmoil in our current culture right now. So the climate is so hot. It's like that everybody wants that smoke. Everybody wants smoke whenever you say something, or if you put an opinion out there, it is automatically up for debate. And that's what the platform is, right? But when you come to channels like mine, primarily I started off with just trying to give out information. I'm not trying to tell you how to live or what's right and wrong. I just want to give out that crypto information. Over time, it started to morph into something else because what I've noticed also is that people are not really interested in information these days. They're interested in mess and keeping some mess going. Information comes to a back seat when it comes to keeping up with the mess. Case in point, recently did a video on Bitcoin, and if you had took that information at that time, it was at 57,000 that time. Might be a good time to purchase it. Again, we don't give financial advice on this channel, but people saw that Bitcoin was in fact Bitcoining, and there was a 10% increase I reported. By the end of the week, it stayed 10%. It went up 12%. And I've gotten about 700 and some odd subscribers, 750, 760, somewhere around there. I've got another channel on Facebook, and I've got family members out there. Out of all those people, maybe one or two actually took me up on that information, took a look into it for themselves, went and watched one of my videos on how to purchase it, and did it. And he put in probably about $600-700. By the end of the week, he had $900, and then took out that excess, that 300, and invested it somewhere else. It worked out for him. Small investments, but that's what we want you to do: is get your feet wet and start pushing that information so that you can make some small changes in your life. One person, that video might have gotten 2 views other than that one person. Same thing with my XRP video that came out, how to purchase it on a different exchange. How much more viewership did I get off of talking about this situation down in Georgia? This Fountney Willis, Nathan Wade, Donald Trump thing. Well, Donald Trump is taking a back seat to the current mess. But how much more traction do you think that story got? Now, is it because people like mess, or is that a hot button issue? I don't know. But what I do know from my experience, it seems that the more salacious, the more hot button issues you have, the more traction you're going to get, and you're going to reach your goal a lot faster. That one video did like 3,000 views in the first 24, 48 hours, which was, for my small channel, it's a lot. We're not doing any Club Shay Shay numbers by any stretch of the imagination. But for a single video to go, 2,000 views in a day, it hits different, and it tells you where people are at. So you can start judging or looking at your analytics and seeing where you can make adjustments in your content. Now, I'm not saying don't get away from or move on to those hot button issues. Stay in your lane like I do. No one can tell you how to run your channel. That is your channel. That's your baby. But make sure that if your goal is to monetize, you want to keep people engaged, and you want to do so at a pace and at a tone that they're going to accept and want to come back to. Like I said, a lot of times you get more support from your haters, and that is really the case here. So keep that in mind. Along with that, developing a thicker skin for the haters. Also learn how to take some criticism. Now, case in point, I've been around the block quite a few times. I'm middle-aged dude. I've been saying Ujama for over 20, 30 years. And I named my network after the Ujama network. It's cooperative economics. However, one comment in that same thread went point by point what he agreed with, wasn't disrespectful at all, made the point clear. My reading comprehension is just fine. His way of articulating that information is just fine. But what he did was tell me, and I don't know if there's any shade in it or not, I didn't take it as such, but it's pronounced Ujama. Now, you might say, so? Well, it does matter to me. And whenever someone can come to your channel and give you some information, as well as you send out information, something I didn't know. I'm from the Northeast. I put a quarter in the meter when I park my car, that kind of thing. I moved down to Georgia. My accent is all messed up. But at this time, somebody actually corrected me on the Swahili verse or version of how to say that Swahili word, Ujama. Um, am I going to incorporate it? I mean, it's going to take some work, but the message was well received, and I thank that user or that subscriber for pointing that out. You don't have to be ready for that smoke with every comment out there. You're going to have a short career and a long talk with your psychiatrist if you go about your business that way. Don't look for it. I mean, if you built for that kind of smoke, cool. But that's not what I'm doing here. And that's not what I want. But I do want you to be aware of that. Now, on top of the ins and outs and some of the uglier side of getting to monetization, you do have an opportunity to learn. And what I've learned about sound quality, picture quality, I already took my computer information that I already had and translated that into this medium, this platform, and my product has gotten better over time. Don't have to start off with really high end stuff. Like I'm really eyeing that Shure mic that you see on a lot of the podcast shows. Before I go live, I might just get one. But this $100 um, Yeti, it made the difference in the world. A lot of my audio will still get a criticism. Again, keep a thick skin. People hated my music, the little theme music I would play. Say it was too loud. It's my channel. I like it, and I want to keep it. But at the same time, accept some criticism. If it's too loud, maybe consider turning it down so they can hear what you're saying. I don't always speak into the mic like I'm doing right now. It plays different on different devices. If you listen to the same podcast on a phone, the audio is going to be much louder than the background music. It's not the same way on a television or on a computer. Depends on your medium. You got to learn these kind of things, and it makes so much more of a difference. I started doing lighting tricks. I set up my own camera rig and the color changing lights in the back. These are things that you kind of feel out for yourself, what kind of mode you want to present. That is the fun part of it, because you get to learn all these tricks and of the trade just by doing. I've always loved that. But aside from that, you want to keep your base happy. You want to grow your information. Make sure you stay in tune with what you are actually trying to put out there, what you started this thing for. But don't worry so much about those numbers. Like I said, the accuracy of the numbers of, for instance, if you were on TubeBuddy and vidIQ, there's going to be a mismatch. But make sure you stay true to the game and get your hours out. Now, if you hit a lick on a good roll of content, it's going to help you out tremendously. But as I am now almost ready to apply, I just wanted to share that information with you guys. And, like it or lump it, I would love to hear from you what you got to say. Please leave a comment below, and I will talk to you very, very soon.